Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. That's right, I'm back at it playing Entropia Universe because we have something cool to talk about. So there's a few new changes in the latest version of Entropia Universe, and I thought this would be the perfect time to sort of pop back in and just dive into the, sort of quick and dirty overview of the changes, because there's some really interesting things here, and then there's some things that I'm just not going to talk about because I don't think they matter that much. So I guess the biggest thing, the name of the game here, the big thing for this update is tiering. Okay, so if you look at this gun that I've got right here, you're going to notice that no longer does it have a set of tiers, which you'd normally see. Instead, it has a tier increase rank. So this is a very sort of low-level gun here, I guess. It's got a 121 tier increase rank out of 4,000. Okay, now if we take a look at another piece, this is 77. Okay, so that's a very low tier. Let's take a look at some Mayhem armor here that I've got. So let's view the info here, and now you can see here the tiering rank is 119 out of 4,000. If you look at Ghost, it is 113 out of 200. So the way this works basically is that there's two sort of ways that you can tier things, right? You've got the traditional unlimited, or I guess the first thing is tiers now are only going to be there's only going to be one tier increase rank. The higher the rank, the faster something tiers. So the higher the tier increase rate of something, probably the more it's worth. Now, what you've got to pay attention to here is that unlimited things, anything that's unlimited, is going to have a max tier increase rate of 200, while anything that is limited can have a rate of up to 4,000. When they went ahead and selected these rates here, it looks like they just picked the top rate for each item, and I believe beforehand you couldn't go over 200 or something like that. So what you're going to see is that all these old items, even though they used the max tier, or the highest tier that you had, with unlimited items, you can get pretty close to that max of 200, but with limited items, pretty much anything that was owned I think this is VU 17.2 or something like that, but basically anything owned before this VU is going to have a very low tier increase rank, which is definitely going to hurt it. So it's tough to see. I wish they'd put some sort of multiplier on the L items, but I get it, right? It's going to be good moving forward, right? Any item that's looted pre this update version, I think it's 17.2 or whatever it is, anything looted after this is going to be going up to 4,000 tier rate, which means it's going to be much faster to tier and much easier to use enhancers and things like that, especially when you're talking about limited items. One of the problems that a lot of players are running into is basically they loot some of these big high value items and they wanted to use these enhancers on them and they couldn't use it because by the time they got up here maybe to tier 10, the whole thing would just be shot. There'd be no TT value left and they couldn't really use those high level enhancers. Whereas with an unlimited item, it works. So basically the sort of quick and dirty of it, what we're going to see here is basically now limited armor is a little bit more valuable because it's going to tier faster. Also, things and armors that have been fully tiered are going to become a little bit less valuable, right? Because limited armor is going to get to that tier 10 or that tier 5 or whatever tier someone's looking for just a little bit faster, which does, it's got to hurt the value, right? So that is a bit of a downside. And on the other hand, MindArc did release some information on tiering and sort of how everything works. So this, I'm actually going to read right from it. Enhancer changes. So this is a quote. This is quoting their account, entropiauniverse.com, like their release bulletin. The chance for enhancers to break is now directly and linearly proportional to the benefit provided. Similar to how old tier increase rate system resulted in many outliers that made some items very slow to tier up, the enhancer break chance calculation resulted in several strange outliers. While the break chance was always influenced by the benefit provided to the item being enhanced, it has now been changed to be exactly proportional to the benefit provided. So what this means is if you have an item that does a ton of damage, it's going to go through enhancers way faster than someone using a TT gun. This is important to note because what this means now is that probably some of these old items that were worth more are going to be worth a little bit less now because their tiers aren't going to be worth as much. From what I can gather, it sounds like at one point in time some of these items were able to use enhancers very equally, and now it's more uniform across, and sort of it's good for a lot of you guys, and it's bad for a select few, and for a lot of other people it's not going to matter whatsoever. So that's sort of a interesting change to see. It gives us a little bit of a glimpse into how tiering works, right, and how all these things work, and it tells us that basically these enhancers are just another piece in this game, and now it's not going to be random, it's going to be based on just the value of the item that you're using, right? So enhancers are probably no longer going to be as valuable on some of these high-end items, but they're going to be a little bit more efficient on some of these lower-end items. That would be my guess, at least. Now, I could be reading this all wrong, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Also, now, if we go to the construction machine, what we're going to see here, if I do have anything I can craft, it looks like I do, actually. So I'm not going to be doing too many crafting runs. If you guys watched that last video I did, it went pretty badly. But if I do a few runs here, what you're going to notice is I'm probably going to be able to loot a little bit of explosive projectiles. So that's sort of cool, because now what's going to be happening is these near successes are going to be dropping some different loot. They're going to be dropping a shrapnel. So this is something completely new. In the past, what we were seeing dropped was residue, and now it looks like it's not going to be dropping residue as much. So what you're likely going to see here is this means that the price of residue is going to go up, because if you look at this now, I'm getting a bunch of shrapnel instead of a bunch of energy matter residue. So that's, you know, it is what it is. Also, it looks like they changed the way PEDs are displayed, right? It's not just X shrapnel, it's saying 0.0045 PED of shrapnel. I like this. This is a little bit more numerical, which is really nice. So it looks like the way the loot's displayed might have changed a little bit, or I might have just caught on to it, but it looks like something's different there. But yeah, basically a lot of these energy matter residues, metal residues, they're going to probably go up a little bit in markup just because of this. Then again, who knows, maybe they won't. There's still quite a bit of them out there, as you guys can see, and there's still a good bit that's being dropped. But now you're going to be able to loot shrapnel as well. And that's basically going to help crafters get a little bit of a better return on their, you know, what they put into it. So a lot of good changes, I'd say, overall. Most of these changes are probably going to be good for more of the lower level players. If you're an upper level player, probably not going to be as great for you, but it is still probably not the worst update, right? It's going to be a little bit easier to tier things. I like the fact that everything has one tier number. That's going to make things so much easier when you're talking about an item. No longer are you going to have to sit there and look and be like, all right, this is 100 tier for tier 1, but tier 2 is 90. This item has 90 tier for tier 1. It just got too confusing. Now it's one number that's sweet, simple, and to the point. And to Mindark's credit, they did use the highest tier rank that you had for every item, so no one really got shafted or screwed over here. Just some people with limited items probably just have limited items now that are worth a little bit less, because that tier increase rate now goes up to 4,000. I don't believe it did before, but maybe I am wrong about that. But yeah, overall, actually, I'm definitely wrong about that. This thing is a 930, so yeah, I'm wrong on that tier. I guess it just wasn't that. I guess none of the items I had that high of a tier rate, but it looks like it is possible to. Yeah, it looks like I was wrong. I'm happy to admit that. But yeah, it looks like I might have been wrong there, because those foot guards at a 900. And this Riker on L1 has a 3,000 tier increase rate. All right, so I was wrong about that. But yeah, overall, I think a lot of good changes. It looks like, I think that this was always there, I think. But I like this protect item button. Or is this new? I don't know. I like the fact that you can protect something so you can't accidentally TT it. That is definitely going to be coming in handy for me, because I've come once or twice, I've come close to TTing some items that I definitely did not want to TT. And in fact, I'm going to do this right now. Where do I have that item? I've got an A203 that I need to do this for. So those of you guys who do have some rare items, this is a nice little reminder here to protect them so you can't accidentally TT it. Yeah, what else is going on? I think that's about it as far as VU 17.2. It looks like we've got a lot of cool stuff coming here, and I'm excited for it. If you guys haven't watched it, Mindark did release a nice little press video from some developers talking about what they plan to do and everything like that. If you guys haven't looked at my community page, I've been a bit busy. Obviously, like, speaking wise, I'm fine and all that, but there's some stuff going on in the background, right? I'm not going to go into that, but it's still going on. It's videos are going to be a little bit slower, obviously. But I'll see what I can do to put out a few videos here and there for you guys. And I do have some exciting stuff coming up that I'm gonna definitely be putting out. But yeah, it's overall some pretty good updates. I like the fact that MindArc's communicating more, and the tier update, well, it does, if you own some of these higher level items, I can see you being a little bit upset about stuff. And if you figured out something that I don't know, because you don't let me in on this stuff because I'm just going to blab to everybody, but if you know something about enhancers, like how they work, and you were exploiting them, or not exploiting them, but using that knowledge to get a little bit more profit, it just got a little bit harder for you. So that does, it sucks, right? And there are going to be some, now with this, with the crafting changes, there's probably going to be some slight corrections in the explosive projectiles market and the residue market, my guess. And this is just a guess, so like 100%, I don't know what I'm talking about, don't listen to me. My guess, metal residue and energy residue is going to be worth a slight bit more. I don't even know if it's going to be enough to profit off of. And explosive projectiles, I don't have any on me, are going to be worth a slight bit less. But, you know, it still remains to be seen what's going to happen with all that. Maybe the increase in return is going to lead more people to do those big click blueprints like that one that I did, and explosive projectiles are going to go way up. Who knows? But yeah, this is, that's all I've got to say, right? It was a very sort of short, quick, and not quick, but it was a short video. It was just to the point, and I just wanted to cover that new VU and let you guys know what was going on. So if you're one of those people who just follows my channel to see what's going on with Entropia Universe, there's a quick update to you. You might want to log in, check what tiers you've got in your items, and maybe there's a few that you want to sell because they're higher tiered than you thought. Maybe there's a few that you're just happy to hold on to. But yeah, if you're one of those people that cares about tiers, this is probably something big for you. Personally, I'm not a huge tiering person. I don't really use I just don't know I haven't figured out, I haven't looked into enhancers enough. As you can see, I've got some durability enhancers. I'm going to put these on these mayhem harnesses once I can. Definitely want to get some more durability enhancers for this stuff because there's a high markup to it. But for the most part, you don't see me using enhancers too much. I do have a few used here and there. I think I've got one on my mining device. But yeah, that's my mining finder. That's the word for it. But yeah, that's all I've got for today, folks. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Like I said, there's gonna be a little bit more time between my videos, but there's still gonna be some videos coming out here and there. And yeah, there's not much else for me to say about that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. The support that you guys have shown me is just awesome. Shout out to the dude who sent me a free game on Steam. That was a nice pick-me-up. I know it wasn't the most expensive game in the world or anything like that, but I really do appreciate it. Yeah, thank you guys. That's all I've got for today. So until next time, folks, have a good one. Peace.